I want to start by talking about something that every single one of us has faced in our lives: failure. It's something that can feel discouraging, frustrating, and even scary. But let me tell you this: failure is not the end. It is, in fact, one of the most important parts of the journey to success. I know that right now, some of you might feel like your dreams are slipping further away, or maybe you've hit a wall and aren't sure how to keep going. But trust me, you are not alone. Failure happens to everyone, even to the people we admire the most. It's how we handle it that makes all the difference. Let me tell you a story about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. Before she became one of the most successful authors in the world, she faced rejection after rejection from publishers. In fact, her manuscript was turned down 12 times. 12. How many of us would have given up after the first few rejections? But J.K. Rowling didn't quit. She believed in her story, and eventually, a publisher took a chance on her. That decision changed her life, and it changed the world. Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, selling millions of copies and inspiring generations of readers. The lesson here is clear. Your dream may take time and the path may not always be easy, but if you believe in it and keep pushing forward, success can find you. Think about Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. We all know him for that amazing invention, but what you may not know is that he failed over and over again. In fact, he went through thousands of failed experiments. Can you imagine trying something 10,000 times and not getting it right? It's hard to even wrap our minds around it. But when asked about his failures, Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He saw every failure as a step closer to success. And in the end, he did it. He changed the world. His story is proof that success doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from embracing it and learning from it. Now, let's talk about someone many of you might be familiar with: Stephen Curry. He's one of the best basketball players in the world today, but his path wasn't always so smooth. When he was in high school, Curry wasn't even good enough to make the varsity basketball team. Can you imagine? A future NBA star told he wasn't good enough? That could have crushed his confidence. But Curry didn't give up. Instead, he used that disappointment as fuel to work harder. He practiced day and night, improved his game, and eventually became the star we know today. His story shows us that failure is not a reflection of our abilities, but an opportunity to work harder, push further, and come back stronger. I want to share one more story with you. This one is about a local entrepreneur. A few years ago, she started a small business with very little money and a lot of doubt. Her first few months were tough. Sales were low, customers weren't coming in, and she was close to giving up. But she didn't. Instead of quitting, she learned from her mistakes, sought advice, and kept improving her product. Slowly but surely, her business started to grow. Today, she runs one of the most successful small businesses in the area. She turned her struggles into strengths and now serves as an inspiration to others in her community. Her story proves that it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. All of these stories, whether it's J.K. Rowling, Thomas Edison, Stephen Curry, or that local entrepreneur, have one thing in common. They all face failure, but they also refused to let it define them. They kept going, learned from their mistakes, and turned their setbacks into comebacks. They are living proof that success is not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and never, ever giving up. I want you to think about your own goals and dreams. Maybe you've faced challenges. Maybe you've fallen short of what you hoped for. But guess what? That's okay. You're not defined by your failures. You are defined by how you respond to them. Each failure is a lesson. Each setback is an opportunity to come back stronger. So, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Instead, be afraid of not trying at all. I know it might not always feel easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. But remember, the greatest success stories are built on persistence, learning from mistakes, and never giving up. If you keep going, if you keep believing in yourself, you'll find success waiting for you on the other side. And before I finish, I want to leave you with one final thought. If you're looking for more motivation, more inspiration, or just need a reminder to keep going, check out our channel on YouTube. There are stories, tips, and lessons from people who have faced their own failures and come out stronger. Subscribe, and you'll always have something to lift you up when times get tough. Thank you. Keep pushing forward. Your success story is just beginning.